Funding mistakes Sikh Gurdwaras keep making, and how to fix them. Let's talk honestly for a moment. Many Sikh Gurdwaras are doing incredible work. Langar every week, food support, community care, youth activities, welfare support, and open doors to everyone regardless of faith. And yet, when it comes to funding, a lot of Gurdwaras struggle far more than they need to. Not because funders don't want to support Sikh organizations, but because of a few common mistakes that quietly get applications rejected. I see these same issues again and again, so let's walk through them and, more importantly, how to fix them. One of the biggest mistakes is assuming that funders won't support faith organizations at all. That simply isn't true. Many funders do support Gurdwaras, but not for religious worship. They fund community benefit. The problem is that many applications focus heavily on faith identity instead of explaining what the project does for the wider community. The fix is simple but powerful. When you write an application, lead with community impact, not religion. Talk about who uses the langar, how many people are served, whether it's open to everyone, and how the space supports people facing hardship, isolation, or food insecurity. Your faith explains your values, but your community impact secures the funding. Another major mistake is applying too early, especially for new charities. Many Gurdwaras register as charities and immediately start applying to national funders without having a full set of annual accounts or a track record. That almost always leads to rejection, no matter how strong the project is. The smarter approach is to start locally. Councils, local trusts, and community grant programs are often far more open to newer organizations, especially where there is clear local benefit. Build 1 or 2 successful grants first, strengthen your accounts, and then move on to larger national funders. A third mistake is treating funding as a one-off event instead of a strategy. Many committees apply to one funder, wait for the outcome, and if it's unsuccessful, feel discouraged. The reality is that even very strong applications are often only successful around half the time. The fix here is thinking in terms of a portfolio. Instead of one application, plan 4 or 5 suitable funders over a year. Some will say no. Some will say yes. Over time, the funding builds. This approach reduces pressure and dramatically improves outcomes. Another common issue is weak project definition. Gurdwaras often know what they want to do, but that doesn't always translate clearly on paper. For example, kitchen refurbishment on its own doesn't tell a funder much. They want to understand why the project is needed, what problems it solves, and what changes as a result. A better approach is to explain the story behind the project. How old is the kitchen? What challenges does it currently create? How does it limit capacity, safety, accessibility, or efficiency? And once improved, how many more people can be supported, how often, and in what ways? Funders fund clarity, not assumptions. Governance is another silent issue. Some Gurdwaras rely heavily on 1 or 2 individuals with limited documented roles, policies, or decision-making structures. Even if everything works well internally, funders still expect basic governance standards. This doesn't mean becoming bureaucratic. It means having clear trustees, regular meetings, basic policies, and evidence that decisions are made collectively and responsibly. Strong governance builds funder confidence, even for small projects. Finally, many Sikh organizations underestimate their own impact. Langar is one of the most powerful community services in the UK, but it's often described too modestly in applications. Feeding hundreds of people weekly, providing dignity, reducing isolation, and supporting people through the cost of living crisis is not small work. It needs to be articulated clearly and confidently. When Sikh Gurdwaras learn to frame their work in language funders understand, community benefit, inclusion, access, well-being, and sustainability, funding becomes far more achievable. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. These are common issues, and they are fixable. My name is Kingsley, and I run the Grant Maven. I support Sikh Gurdwaras and community organizations across the UK to plan funding properly, avoid common mistakes, and apply with confidence. I've supported multiple Gurdwaras to secure funding by taking exactly this approach. If you found this helpful, follow the channel for more UK funding guidance, and feel free to share this video with your committee or trustees. Sometimes one small shift in approach makes all the difference.